Welcome back again. Vegas Live with Ninon. Yes, you know what it is, why it is, and how it is. You know who I am by now with all these interviews. And as you can tell, each interview is very, very different. It's absolutely amazing what talent and what we have in Vegas. It's just incredible. And now I have something a little different. I don't pre-interview my guests because I don't want to know what they do. But at least one little thing I like to know. Number one, their name, her name is Lisa Manzo. And I think she straightens out women's minds. And if I was a woman, I certainly would not want to do that. Because women we are nuts.
We are.
She agrees with me.
We are.
I didn't think she would agree with me. But, no, we are, because we'll say one thing. Oh, no, we didn't mean that. We meant this, because if it's not agreeable to what the other person has perceived it to be, we will change it real fast.
Well, I've learned to stop doing that.
You learned to stop doing that?
Yes.
Why? That's an escape out.
Well, I wanted to step into who I was as a person and get rid of all that programming in my head.
So who are you now?
So now I'm an entrepreneur and I help people take out their emotional trash. So
do we all have, you only deal with women, right? Not men.
I'll help men too. It's mostly women though.
Mostly women.
I have a couple of male clients, not too many.
But how different is it to deal with the emotions of a man as being a woman to a man? When you're talking from a man to a man or a woman to a woman, it's totally different than a woman talking to a man.
Absolutely. So when I talk to the man, I interview them because I want to make sure we're a right fit. And I'm like, are you sure you want to work with me? Because would you be more open with another man, or are you comfortable with me? And I have this gift where people just tell me their secrets. I have this disarming nature about me, and people just tell me their secrets. So most of the time they want to work with me, and they don't want to work with another man, which is quite interesting.
I wonder what all these secrets are. I want to know. Are they pretty? Because I know you can't mention them because you're sworn to secrecy. Are you?
I am. They're my clients, and it's confidentiality. And sometimes people just know that there's stuff in their head that's holding them back, and they want help getting rid of it.
What's been the most dramatic one that you've kind of come across where a woman has been really in kind of desperate need of her life and always going up the wrong road rather than going up the road on the left or the road on the right?
I had a client that had profound sadness. Profound sadness. And we talk about things, because this all relates back to childhood and what happened.
Is it really true it's the first 5 years?
7.
Okay, so we've gone up a couple of years. I've never believed in the 5-year thing. I now got to believe in the 7-year thing. That's okay.
Because what happens is you'll take, for instance, she had great sadness because she thought the adults were always making fun of her. And it's not that they're making fun of her. It's like, kids do funny things.
So you laugh.
But as a child, if you don't understand what's going on and no one explains it to you, your unconscious mind processes it the best way it knows, and sometimes it comes on as shame.
Because they could be laughing at you.
Right.
Or they could be laughing with you.
Absolutely.
There's a big difference.
Yes, big difference. And a child of 4 or 5
doesn't know the difference.
Doesn't know the difference.
And it's funny how a child, even from a baby, becomes center of attraction. Christmas parties, birthday parties, dinners, anything at all. That person, that little soul, that poor little soul is the entertainment of the night or evening or afternoon or whatever the case may be.
Absolutely.
And the child always thinks that they always laugh at me.
Right.
You never think of that, do you?
No, you don't think of that. And then things happen in school. For instance, when I was and I'm still talking about this, I'm 60 years old, in kindergarten, and I'm still talking about this. My teacher made fun of a picture I drew. And I still can remember the experience. It doesn't have the effect on me as it used to because
you understand it now.
I understand it now. And I remember when I first started talking about it and explaining to my coach, because I wanted help myself, this is how I got here. And I explained that to her because I was embarrassed. And when you're 5 years old, embarrassed goes to shame. And It was like, I never wanted to do anything creative ever again in my life because she made fun of my picture.
Was that, thinking of it now, was that a position for her to actually be in it, to make fun of a 5-year-old kid?
I think it goes back to I did something funny. She wanted to share it with the class, and it was unintentional. Plus, back then, 55
So
years
you're
ago.
you're actually.
No, think about it. 55 years ago.
But you're making an excuse for somebody who was old enough to know better.
If a 22-year-old is old enough to know better 55 years ago when they didn't teach this stuff, then yes. But I believe I'm going to cut her some slack because I know that
You're being kind. Because that's what you do anyway.
That's what I do.
That's
Being
why
kind.
she's being
Yes.
kind. That's why she's sort of, kind of letting it pass over. But whether she was 22 or 52 or 102, I don't give a damn. She would never laugh at somebody else or even give an example to a kid that's so proud of something that they've done, and you know that person is proud of it because they're not laughing, they're
I was
excited,
proud.
and you were proud of it, and you were very serious, probably. I'm just putting myself into your position, and then she laughs at you.
I do actually remember what the picture looked like. So I was trying to draw a picture of my dad. It was a Father's Day card. And I was trying to draw a picture of him, and I couldn't draw a circle, so he kind of looked like Frankenstein.
But you're 5 years old.
But I'm 5 years old,
So-
and I did my best.
So you find that a lot of these women, you've got a little group here actually that comes to support you.
Yes.
You find that a lot of them, within their years of being 5 to 7, 5, 7, or whatever the case is, have a lot of things that they've carried all through their life and not really known that that's been the problem through their life.
Absolutely. This is where all the limiting beliefs come from. When you tell a child, oh, don't do that because you can't, they think that things are not possible for them.
That's right. I'm now trying to think of things that happened to me. Well, there's so many things that happened to me as a child, so I can't think of them all. But I'm one of these people. Fortunately, I can brush things off, so I'm pretty
Which is
cool that way.
fantastic.
Yeah, I've been able to do that all my life because I've been able to have my own independence, my own stuff. So how does a woman, well, not a young woman, I guess, because it's probably very prevalent, probably, 20, 25, looking for a husband, finding a guy, and all this, and they've got all this hang up as a young child.
Well, first of all, awareness is the key. Some people aren't even aware of it. And
Well, that's a good thing.
yes, it can be. But if you're
What you
not,
don't know, you don't worry about.
and how can you change it? Because then you're
You
still
can't change it if you don't know it.
exactly, and then you keep attracting the same kind of person.
And you wonder why you try that. Well, that could be my hang up.
Could be. and you're attracting the same kind of person because you haven't worked on yourself. And so I had stopped dating quite a while ago, and then I started recently.
So you're not married?
No, not married.
Have you ever been married?
Yes.
Oh, okay, good. Thought maybe you had that hang up from that 5-year-old picture you painted of your dad that looked like Frankenstein. I'm never going to marry a man. I mean, you could get that in your head.
You could. You could. Absolutely. Oh my God.
Just a thought.
It is. That's good.
So you're dating now. Your husband passed away, or you divorced him?
Both. I divorced him.
Well, which
and
one?
he
I was going to say
passed
which.
away.
Which
I
one?
divorced him
Which
and
one
then he
came
passed away.
Which one came first?
Yes. So, and I would realize. So the last time I went on a date was like 2 years ago, and I'm like,
The last time you went on a date, so
Was
you're
about
not
to-
dating now.
well, I haven't had any opportunities, and so the last time I went on a date, I'm like, this guy seems really familiar to me, and I'm like, I don't know what it is, and then so we're at lunch, we're almost there 15 minutes, and I'm like, I got it. He reminds me of one of my exes, and I'm like, okay, cross him off the list because that's the same person I had before, and I want something
And
different.
I don't want him because
I
I've
want
already
something
been
different.
through that. I'm not going to go through it. Poor guy didn't stand a chance, did he?
Nope, not a chance. He had so many mannerisms of one of my exes. I'm like, oh, nope.
So
not for
every
me.
time he would have done something or said something or whatever, you would remind you of that person
Yeah.
that you dated and got rid of.
Yes. So, cross him off.
And that's what. So then you broke the chain of always dating the same person.
Right. So exactly. So I'm waiting for the universe, God, spirit, whatever you want to call it, will bring me somebody who's meant just for me because I'm clear now in what I want.
Do you believe that our dear sweet God up there, Jesus, and all that lovely stuff up there, do you believe he sends you people? Do you believe he puts people in your path?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, that sounds pretty cool.
Absolutely.
I'm thinking of a couple of people right now, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm
I
on
have
board
these.
with it.
I have these 4 lovely ladies who are here with me.
There's
and
only 3 there.
this-
Oh, there's another one there. Well, she's filming.
and God has absolutely put them in my path. They're gifts.
Do you think this happens to most people or everybody?
Oh, everybody. It happens to everybody. It's whether or not you're open to receiving it. And you'll get people in your life who go against your beliefs and everything. It's still a gift.
Still a gift.
It's still a gift because you can learn something from them.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a question of a personal thing of mine.
Sure.
Okay, so I know this guy. He's about 5 years younger than me, which really doesn't make any difference at all because
Oh,
he
that's
acts
good.
older.
No, that's good.
I think so. might be more. But anyway, I knew him when he was married. I knew his wife, not as much as I knew him because he and I were kind of going into a clothing business. Unfortunately, she passed away pancreatic cancer.
Okay.
So she passed away, and then a couple of years, about a year and a half, we started kind of seeing each other, and then we were, boyfriend, girlfriend, and everything. Then I found out a lot about him. So, and then he moved here, and I couldn't handle it, and I sent him back again. So, has God sent this person to me to look? And I've often had this question: has He sent me to look after him? I don't really want to marry him, and I don't want to date him, but she's getting very serious.
No,
So
I am.
So what do I do with him? He's very sweet and very nice, but he's got problems.
You're not responsible for him. It's his journey. You're
Yeah.
not responsible for him.
I love
you can
that,
let
because
him,
that's
let
exactly
him
how
go.
I thought.
Let him go. You're not responsible for him.
But he can
It's
still
just
be my
don't-
friend.
Yes, and with boundaries.
Well, yes, definitely. Yeah, he's in
boundaries,
Los Angeles.
Oh,
I
perfect.
sent him back to Los Angeles.
That works.
Yeah, I sent him far. Well, he came out here without letting me know, and I think he wanted to move in and do all this stuff, and I was like, hang on a second. But fortunately, I didn't go that route. The thing started dropping.
Right, he came out here without you knowing
Yes.
him. He already crossed the boundary. He didn't ask you,
Absolutely.
didn't speak to you,
No.
didn't entertain your feelings or anything.
Not at all.
Just assumed
That I would let him.
that you would let him in, and that was it.
Never assume with Ninon.
That's right.
Never assume with Ninon. You never know what this little brain up here is thinking. So also, there's an old joke when they say, well, God sent you 3 things to save you and be with you and everything
Okay.
else. So,
Maybe that's not one of them.
you know how they always say you didn't pick up any of them. I sent you 3 people and you haven't.
You have a choice. You don't
You have
to.
choices.
You have choices. You don't
So-
have to pick up those. You can wait for
you can
something
wait.
better.
So what's the most prominent thing you would say to all these incredible women, especially in Vegas, because Vegas is a very, very different place for dating as of an older woman. It's not the same as anywhere else because you've got all these young girls, you've got all this stuff going on, you've got all these parties, you've got all this. Men in this particular town can have and do anything, in the book, out of the book, doesn't matter.
Confidence is very attractive.
Confidence
is very attractive
Okay, so if a woman is confident,
to men.
To a
I've
man.
had men tell me that confidence.
well, you
is
have
very
confidence. She's
attractive.
overboiling with confidence, in a very quiet way because you don't really have any makeup on. You have a little lipstick on.
Very little.
She is she's like one of these natural beauties that all of us women, like myself, that has all this makeup on, absolutely hate because they look gorgeous without makeup, and they always look like this.
Thank you.
I don't always.
When I was in my 20s, everybody wanted me to wear makeup, and I'm like, what for? My skin is beautiful. My skin is flawless. Why am I going to cover it up?
Hang on a second. You just said something, Lisa. You
Yes.
just said, when I was younger, to wear makeup, and you said very openly, I am beautiful. Should women think of themselves as of that, whether you're beautiful or whether you're not, but if you think yourself as being beautiful?
Absolutely. It starts with you.
So do you think women should become more confident within themselves, whether they're fat, they're skinny, they're blonde, it doesn't make any difference what you are?
It doesn't.
You really, truly, probably, what I feel anyway, is love yourself. I look a wreck in the morning. Believe me, I don't think any man, but I was married for 29 years, so I guess it was passed for 29 years, so I guess that was okay. But, well, that's just what I feel. But if I had a man around, maybe I wouldn't look like that. I'd sort of, tidy myself up a little bit before I left the bathroom, whatever, but being alone, you don't have to.
Right.
So your greatest thing is saying a woman should love herself.
Absolutely. You have to love yourself.
How does she do that?
It starts. So I didn't always love myself. it was a journey into it.
Okay.
And
what didn't you love about yourself?
I thought I wasn't good enough. I thought I couldn't get anything right. I thought I couldn't be successful. I had all these,
Ooh.
and I took the picture. I took the before picture when I started my journey 4 years ago, because I wanted to be able to look at that picture and say, look how far you've come.
Oh, so this is a recent thing with you.
Oh, yeah.
Never
Because
too late. It's never too late.
Yeah, I decided it was time to change, and I knew it had to be up here. And then I started getting help and finding people that helped me along the way with my mindset, and so that's how I got into
Now
this.
you're passing it up.
Yes.
Now you're passing it down to other women, like all these 4 women here. They're all feeling very confident and very great. And my dear, sweet, darling producer has never put her fingers up so many times in all my interviews, because I'm going overtime with every single interview, because you're all very interesting. And she's going crazy.
I can come back.
I know you can always come back. You can definitely come back, because I think, do you think women in this day and age, as of being a little bit older, need people like you around to explain to them the confidence?
And to show them it's possible.
And it's possible.
It is possible.
So, but what is possible? What do you mean it's possible?
Everything.
What is possible? Oh,
Everything.
what do you mean everything?
You can have career, you can have family, you can have business, you can have relationships, you can have every aspect of your life. You just need to manifest it yourself and step into it. And it's a process. It's not an overnight process. It happens
Definitely.
over time. And it happens faster when you get someone to help you along the way.
Absolutely. So it doesn't matter, what you are. Anything, you can be fat, you can be skinny, you can be anything you like.
Absolutely.
But in other words, love yourself.
Love yourself. So I was, about 2 years ago, I was about 25 pounds lighter. And I gained the weight back again, because it's been doing that my whole life. And then it finally hit me. I needed to love myself here. And I do.
You do.
I'm right here, right now, in this body.
Oh yeah,
And
you're very focused. You're very
Right.
You're great.
And now I love myself here, which
No.
if I'd have been here 3 years ago, I would have been very self-conscious.
Would you have been petrified me interviewing you?
No, I love to talk, so.
Oh, she likes to
probably-
talk. So she
No, probably not. But I would have been nervous, but I would have did it anyway. I wouldn't be as comfortable as I am
you
now.
feel comfortable
I'm
now.
very comfortable.
Am I comfortable?
Yes.
Oh, good. Just want to
Absolutely.
check, make sure I'm okay. I'm okay doing what I'm doing. Who knows, right? We all go into different things. So a woman out there, you can do anything you want, how you want, when you want. Don't feel inhibited about yourself, because that's all you have. You can have all the cars in the world and all the money. You can have everything in the entire world. But if you're not in critique with yourself and your body, you really have nothing.
That's right, I agree.
You don't.
said it very well.
Did I? See, I'm learning. She's only been here 10 minutes. I'm learning from her already. I love it. How can anybody reach you, get hold of you, and get all this lovely advice?
So they can email me at lisa@thephoenixmind.com, and
Okay.
I would be happy to respond. They can connect with me on Facebook, Lisa Manzo, I think it's .lm on
Okay.
Facebook, and I'm happy to respond. Text, Messenger. I'm happy to help any women out and have a conversation, see if we're a good fit, or give you a little tip here or there.
Yeah,
Please
absolutely
reach out.
wonderful. One more question. I know that probably Maria's going to... Any difference between a regular woman and a woman in entertainment?
No.
No?
No, because everybody has those. They all have what's in their
Well,
head.
when they're in the entertainment, they're all like, oh, I'm this, and I'm this, and I'm that.
They just put on. They just put on a show
Oh,
for the
okay.
people, and you don't see what's actually
behind the
behind the
scenes.
scene. And you have to get what's behind the scenes in order to move forward and get rid of all that stuff. Because the more stuff that you get rid of, that emotional trash,
The more
you take it
baggage
out.
you carry around with, the more baggage you've got to deal with. So get
Right.
rid of the baggage. We'll be right back with our next guest. I believe I have another guest. I think we do. I think we have one more guest. We're going over them. And we've also got, we're going to do a couple of things of off the cuff. Janet, my pal, two ladies of Vegas. We're going to be around. Thank you so much for being on my show.
Thank you for having
She's been
me.
absolutely wonderful. And of course, don't forget Mariposa. This is an incredible restaurant. And don't forget to go to our social media shows. That's my producer's company, Maria Pureza. All the above, everything. I'll be right back.